All right, cool. Let's get going. All right, so this is our podcast for Team Project One. For our topic, we picked diversity. So we're just gonna start by all introducing ourselves. So I'll get the ball rolling. I am Vinny. I am a junior, or no, I'm a senior actually here at Towson. I'm a sports management major, and in my free time, I just like to clearly watch a lot of sports. I like to hang out with friends, go outside. I also like the jobs I have. I work at a concert venue. I also work at a pizza joint. So I don't have very hard jobs, but I do enjoy what I do. So that's a little bit about me. But
My name is Nia Purnell. I'm a senior at Towson. My major is business administration. In my free time, I really like to spend time with my family, my little sisters. My job, I don't work right now, but in the summer I was a server. That's what I've done mainly for all of my jobs since I've been working. So, yep.
My name is Michaela. I'm a junior at Towson. My concentration is leadership and management, and my major is business administration. On my free time, I like to bake. I have my own little baking company, I guess you could say, and my actual job is serving.
All right. My name is Rasheed. Um, I'm actually a business management major. In my free time, I like to, just hang out with my friends, um, go to the gym every now and then. And I don't have a job right now, but in the summer, I worked as a financial representative, like intern for Northwestern Mutual.
Hey, my name's Darwulm Sandoval, and I'm also a senior. My major is business administration as well, with a concentration in leadership and management. And what I like to do in my free time, I like to play sports. I like to play soccer. I also like to play basketball, even though I suck. But yeah, that's about it.
all right, awesome. So the first thing on the rubric is we had to find a different podcast just to listen to and kind of get some other ideas. So we picked a podcast called How I Built This with Guy Raz, and we picked the episode with Missy Park. And basically, what she is, she was a college basketball athlete back in the late 70s. And in the early era of like Title IX, there were not a lot of female like clothing brands for sport that were all that great. So she started up this clothing brand called Title IX, and to this day, she is the sole owner, and she's just kind of talked about how her company's grown and how she looked at it more like it was she wanted to do it because there were no other opportunities for women to have nice sporting equipment or sporting clothing because it was all kind of male predominant. And I picked that episode because I thought it would fit well because she did it for the reason that there weren't lots of sporting clothing for women around. And we're kind of talking about diversity. So she was trying to bring diversity to somewhere where there wasn't much. So I thought the podcast was good. She really went into detail about how she started up her company. And in general, he has a bunch of different episodes, but he just has all these guests on. They all talk about how they built their companies. They have some big ones on there too. So yeah, I thought it was good. It was just a nice way to listen and kind of see how we want to run this, give us some ideas.
I agree. When I had listened to it, I really liked how she had gave tips on new entrepreneurs trying to start in the business and how to get a start and just motivation of getting it done. It was very helpful, especially being a senior and knowing like that that's coming soon and next.
Yeah, I thought it was
Yeah,
good too, but
I really like.
go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, yeah, I liked how she talked about how difficult it was for her, and at that time period, being a woman trying to um, enter a market, which is, it wasn't a high demand, or not demand, but there wasn't a lot of other people trying to do what she was doing. and it kind of shows how she was like a pioneer in that way, entering that market.
Yeah, I noticed that she said she decided to launch a female version of Nike, and that just made me go do some research on Nike and how they developed their clothes and everything over time. And back then they really didn't have much, but now Nike has like so many options for women now. So maybe they took a little bit of inspiration from her.
Yeah, now as you see, like when she started, I would say like kind of like a paradigm shift kind of hit around when the late '90s hit, especially when Serena Williams came around. Because now you see female athletes are really big. They're in a ton of advertising, all that kind of stuff. And now there's plenty of markets for women in sports. So it was definitely a good episode to listen to. I thought I had some good insight. So, all right, cool. So for the next part, we got to go into these self-disclosure prompts. So if you guys want, I can start. So the first one that I wanted to touch on was what achievement are you most proud of? And for me, my biggest achievement throughout my life was being a great brother, because I do have one older brother. He is 24 years old now. So growing up, I always kind of felt like I was the older brother because my brother just wasn't as mature, and he's a little slow. He has like a hearing impairment, so he just wasn't as quick to pick up on things. So we always went to school together. We had the same job, so I would always be there for him, help him out whenever he needed. I would always protect him, whether it's around work, school, our neighborhood, stuff like that. But that takes me into the second one, which is what was a difficult challenge, and was also being a great brother, because he did not make it easy at times, Like at the end of the day, I'll always love him because he's my brother, but he did not, at certain points, he does not treat me and my family all that well. So it's just when that happens, it's just like, damn, dude, come on. You got to kind of like meet me halfway a little bit. But like I said, at the end of the day, he's my brother. He's family, so I'm always going to love him. But he did not always make it easy to always be there for him, be a good brother. So, yeah. And my top 3 goals in life are to be happy. I just want to be happy, no matter what I do. I just want to make sure whatever I'm doing, I'm happy with what I'm doing. My second goal is to have a family. One day I just want to be a good father and good husband, start a family. And I just want to make a difference in my life and other people's lives. I just want to be there for people and make a difference in whatever way I can. So.
I can go next. So I'll start with the most difficult challenge I had to overcome. One of the most difficult challenges I had to overcome was honestly just realizing and accepting that people come and go in life. And sometimes some people are only meant for certain milestones of your life, and they're not meant to stay with you forever. And that was pretty tough for me because I had some friends growing up that I lost, and it hurt during that time, but then I realized that it's life and I just had to overcome it.
Yeah, I completely agree, because actually this past summer that happened to me with my freshman year. I met a good buddy of mine, and this past summer, like you said, it kind of dwindled out and kind of like really hit the fan, and then it just, life goes on, but it was definitely a good life lesson to learn, like you said.
Right. An achievement that I'm most proud of would be me actually going through with college and finishing. Because when I came in freshman year, the first day of classes, I was thinking already like, okay, what's plan B? Because I was like, I do not like it. It was completely different in high school, and it was just different, and I did not like it at all. And I wanted to come home so bad, but I actually stuck with it, graduated on time, and I'm actually really proud of myself. And now that's something I can tell my younger siblings, that it's worth it, and just to keep going, and it'll get easier. The top 3 goals that I hope to achieve in life is, the top one really is to leave a positive impact on everyone I meet, just so they can always remember me and remember something about me, versus leaving a negative impact as someone that no one ever wants to speak to again, or just, seeming as a negative person. Another one is building my home from the ground up. Like that's one of my biggest goals I want to do is just start from scratch all the way up and choose my whole layout of everything. And then the third one is I have like a 1-year-old sister and a 6-month-old sister. So by the time they're like 16 and driving and stuff, I hope to be set to the point where I can surprise them with their first cars with no problems. So that's a goal I really hope I can achieve.
The most difficult challenge I probably had to overcome before I came to Towson, I went to ACC, and graduating probably was just the most difficult thing for me because I'm a first generation college student. So all the pressure was on me. Everybody was counting on me to do it. And it was like a lot of points where I really wanted to give up. And I did it in 2 years because I took summer classes and everything. And that was one of my biggest achievements that I'm proud of because a lot of people I know that went to ACC, they graduated in like 4 years, and I did it in 2 just by staying dedicated and determined. And my top 3 goals I hope to achieve, I really want to get in a career and just be the boss, really. Like, I just want to be in control of everything, hence on why my concentration is leadership and management. And another goal, I really just want to be able to take care of my parents financially. I don't want them to have to work anymore. I don't want them to have to pay bills and stuff like that. And third, I just want a big home and with a pool. That's always been going for me.
To touch back on your achievement that you're most proud of being first generation, I can relate to that because I'm actually not first generation, but I'm the youngest of 4, and I'm the only one that actually is graduating from college. Like 2 of them went in but did not finish, so I can relate to that accomplishment.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough because everybody was like, "Oh, like when you graduate," and I'm like, "I don't want to give up."
Yeah, it's easier said than done, right?
Right.
Yeah, I can definitely relate with that because like my family is like the same way. Like it's just a lot of pressure on you to just get through it, and I guess family members feel like just saying that is just enough. I mean, like that is just gonna make all those assignments disappear. But
Right.
yeah, just go ahead. It's college. Just do it. And
I'm personally not a
then they
first
realize,
generation college student. My mom and dad both went to college, and my brother is currently set to finish next month. But whether you're first generation or not, it's still tough to get through all 4 years, and some
Yeah.
people take much longer. So we should all definitely.
It's probably harder for you because you want to live up to their expectations and what they did and their goals and
Yeah,
standards and everything.
yeah. So it's just pretty crazy to think that we're all literally almost done. It's just
So
I
close.
know.
We are
still hasn't
so.
set in.
Is
But
anyone graduating this semester?
no, I got one more.
I have
I'm a
another
junior.
year.
It's gonna fly by.
I know.
Yeah, it literally went by like that. I was like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
and college definitely went by faster than high school, in my opinion. Like it
Oh
flew
yeah,
by.
for sure. I felt like high school was so long.
Yeah, like college is super quick.
Mhm.
All right. I guess I'll answer my question. For what's the most difficult challenge I have to overcome? It's not really like a physical challenge. I think the most difficult challenge for me is like sometimes my head, I become like too much of a perfectionist. So like I'm like doing assignments and stuff. Or like let's say I'm like miss a couple on a homework assignment, or like I miss one assignment or something. Like that's gonna just be on my head, just like beating me down for like the whole week. Like I'm gonna be so mad at myself because like I know what like I could have got it done, and I don't know. It's just something like something just that wants you, something in you that wants you to just be like perfect, which I've been trying to work on and try to like Like, all right, one assignment's not gonna kill me. Like, it's not the end of the world. Life goes on and stuff like that. But I also said, well, I said for my achievement, I was proud of graduating from CCBC just because that's like the halfway mark. I got my associates, so that's cool. Now I just gotta get this bachelor's if it doesn't kill me. But and for my top 3 goals, I want to start a family. Like at some point, like I think I look at my dad and like his family or like our family as like an example. Like wife, kids, dog, big house, stuff like that. Like I feel like that's really a goal to try to strive for. And I also want to find a career that I want to do, like that I actually want to do though, because like people always talking about dream jobs. I haven't seen a dream job yet. Like my dream job is not working, just getting paid. But hopefully, I land in the right spot somehow, some way, and I actually find something that I would like to get up and do from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and not go completely insane. But my last goal is that I just want to leave like a legacy, and I want to leave good impressions on all the people I meet and I talk to, and try to make an impact on people for the better, so that like when it's all said and done, people have fond memories of me, and remember me as like a good and like helpful person.
Yeah, I definitely relate to you in terms of what you're saying about being a perfectionist and everything. Maybe not in like that specific sense, but it's just sometimes like, especially this past summer, I had my first internship with a minor league baseball team, and it was my first rodeo ever seeing like any of the inner workings of the sport business side in terms of what I'm going to get into in terms of work. So I was definitely learning on the fly, but I definitely was kicking myself in the head sometimes where I was like, damn, like I realized how I definitely could have done that a lot better. And it just kind of sits in your mind, but you just kind of got to move on and just live and learn. But yeah, I definitely resonate with you on that point.
Yeah, the perfectionist thing with me too. It's like really crazy because the assignment that could take 30 minutes will take me 2 hours just because I keep rereading it and I keep trying to fix stuff and add stuff and make sure it's perfect. Also, when I miss the assignment too, I'm just like, I know I could have got it done, but it's usually not even me not wanting to do it. It's probably something I just overlooked, and then I just get really mad at myself for not paying more attention. And
Yeah,
I know it's annoying because some teachers aren't flexible and they won't let you like redo it or retake it or open it, whatever. And I'm just like, I care about my grades. So if I really miss something, I probably really didn't see it, because I will definitely make my best, give my best to try to do it.
Yeah, and like the crazy thing is like when I was in like middle school or like high school or whatever, I did not care about school at all. Like, but as soon as I went to college, I was like, all right, now let me actually start trying. That was actually not
same.
Let me actually start. And then that's when it happened. Because before I was just like, oh, whatever.
I feel like it's only because we pay for it. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a big part of it. Oh, it's actual money going towards this. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So not trying to mess around too much.
Yeah, now you guys bring up like levels of effort and stuff. I remember as a kid, I had a coach who gave me some advice and didn't really resonate with me until I got a little older. But he said, no matter what you do, like just make sure you do it to your fullest, like put 100% in, because you don't want you in your mind thinking that could have gone differently if I just put in a little more work, you know.
Right.
So I think that definitely hits home with me now that I'm a little older. You know, I think I can understand that a little more. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, I'll go now. So for the most difficult challenge I've had to overcome was probably when I was younger, I had a speech impediment, so it was harder like for me to talk without a stutter or like talk at all. So it's a little harder to like learn English and stuff. But like with speech therapy, it made it a lot better. And also like my teachers helped me helped me get better at that as well. Also an achievement I'm most proud of is probably that I'm also a first generation graduate, and like I hope that inspires my little cousins and my little brothers as well. And for my top 3 goals that I hope to achieve, hopefully, I want a big family as well. Also want a big house, hopefully somewhere in Texas. And also, what do I want to achieve? Financial stability too. Definitely that.
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean in terms of your first point, because my brother, he also had like a hearing impairment, speech impediment, so he always went to like that speech stuff too. So I definitely saw that as a kid and everything. So I definitely know what you mean on that. I mean, from a secondhand perspective, of course, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think we all had like a lot of similarities within our answers, but I think we can all tell that they were definitely different in their own unique way, which kind of makes us a diverse group of us, 5 of us.
Yeah, I feel like my biggest takeaway from everyone's self-disclosure was like, I feel like kind of like an overarching theme would be just wanting to be successful later in life. And I feel like that like makes sense for where we are in like our life. Like we're in college, like we haven't really, fully been, even if we had like jobs that have been there for a long time, like we haven't really been like the, I guess, professional job market, especially with like our degrees and stuff yet. So it makes sense that we all just want to just be successful later in life.
Yeah, definitely. So
I can definitely tell that we're all diverse in many ways, but at the same time, we're kind of the same.
Very similar, yeah. We really have like basically like the same goals that we want to accomplish, the same mindsets about everything. We're really close and where we're trying, like where we are with our graduation and stuff.
yeah, I definitely did know that was good. We could talk there about self-disclosure and everything. But for our topic for the entire podcast, we picked diversity. And I think we definitely just had a group of diverse answers there. But in terms of like where I've seen the most diversity in my life, the top 3 places come to mind are my 2 jobs I've had, 2 specific jobs I've had, and school. So for school, my dad, he teaches at a Catholic private high school in Baltimore. And I went there for 4 years, and it actually was all men. It was all guys, so it wasn't diverse in that aspect. But there was just so many different ethnicities represented at that school. We had students come all the way. I think we had 5 or 6 students that in my graduating class came all the way from China to go to where I went, and it was in the middle of Baltimore, so we had a lot of African American students. We had a lot of Asian, Indian. We just had so many different cultures represented there, and of course, it was diverse for them in that aspect because it was a Catholic school, so once a month we always went to Catholic mass as an entire school. So I'm sure that was diverse in that way. And 2 jobs come to mind for me are my job at the concert venue, Merriweather Post Pavilion. We have a ton of different ethnicities represented within our staff, but also you just hear tons of different kinds of music. You're seeing everything from like country to rock to rap to like reggae, all kind of stuff you see there. So it's just like a real eye opener, and it's been real. It was actually like been such a real cool experience seeing all those different kinds of music. It just really opens your eyes to how big this world is and how many people have different interests, and just seeing all the culture represented there was cool. And my other job was just this past summer with the minor league baseball team in Frederick, the Keys. There was also diverse there because I worked with the marketing team, so we had to market to different kind of groups of people. So you had like the hardcore baseball fans, but then we also wanted to market to like families being a minor league team and everything, and just all these different kinds of groups we wanted to market toward. It was definitely a diverse experience. So that's probably the 3 places I've seen the most diversity in my life. But I think of diversity as like just like a big melting pot of everything, where you get a little bit of all different kind of cultures and everything. So
Yeah. Another big area that has like a lot of diversity is like if you play sports, like you play in like club teams or anything. I used to play football, and like the locker room is just such a diverse like area. There's people with a bunch of different backgrounds and stuff like that, and like everyone has their own perspective, and like you just never know. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah. I completely agree with that. So in high school, I played football, and we had like literally like 50 guys on the team. There were so many different kinds of people in there. It's just the locker room is an experience you got to have for yourself to really know what it's like, you know.
Yeah.
A place that I often experience diversity is my job. Um, I'm the only African American woman, and I don't know, like we don't get a lot of African American clientele either. So it's like when people see me, it's like kind of standoffish, and they're just like, "What do you know about food and wine like this?" So I don't know, but I always make sure I take my notes and I try to figure out everything about the wines that we serve and the food that we serve, so I don't sound uneducated, and prove to them that I know what I'm doing and I'm here for a reason.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I had a similar experience in my summer internship at Northwestern Mutual. Like it's like the financial advising type company, and I was the only like African American there at all. And it was like we have meetings like every Monday morning, and there's probably like 30 people who worked in the office. And yeah, I was like the only African American one there, but yeah, I understand where you're like you just want to show that like you just do your like I just go there and do my job. So like I know I'm supposed to be here. Like I know what I'm doing. And so I feel like it's just using that confidence and kind of building off of it and just showing that you can do anything anyone else can do.
Right. I have a African American coworker. He's a male though, and I feel like he gets more respect than I do. Even though like we're both the same race, I feel like just because he's a man, he gets more respect, which is very weird to me. But I feel like that's how it is anyway.
American the comment you made about working. I work in Ocean City, Maryland, as like the only like African American server, period. Not even gender, just period. So I definitely I can relate to you a lot, because people think you're not as capable as things, and then I come out and give them the best service and they don't want to tip you, or just, you know, it's just, it comes with a lot, but that's their problem at the end of the day, not ours.
Yeah. And then it's crazy because they be so standoffish at first, but then when I give them like the best service, they're like, "Oh my god, so good."
Yeah, they just think we're not capable of doing something or doing it as good as the others, when it's like, okay. But for me, I've definitely experienced it and working, because like I said, I work in Ocean City, and I'm a server. So I really do see that there's not any Blacks working, like serving, at least. If they are, they're bus boys or something. And also gender, there's not really a lot of boys serving. Like the boys just get usually stuck to the kitchen or bussing tables, or, you know, just it's not really a lot of boys. I probably have like, I've worked there for like 4 years, and I think I've probably only worked with like, I don't know, maybe like 3 guy servers with me. And another job I had was on the boardwalk at the ice cream shop. And I guess it's like boys aren't like, they don't like they could do ice cream, I guess. Maybe it's like more of a girly job or something. I don't know. But if a boy did get hired there, they were basically just the ones making like the waffle cones or something. But I had a conversation with a couple of them, and like they wanted to be up front and serving ice cream. So, you know, they just got placed to the position that they thought they should be in.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up, because my first ever job, I was like 12 years old, and my dad started working at a young age. He's like, you need to go get a job, man. You need to start working. So My neighbor, I went to my neighbor, and I know he owned an ice cream shop. Literally, like, walk to it. It was literally probably a 15-minute walk from my house. I was like, you think you give me a job? I was literally like 12 years old. He was like, you really want to work? I was like, yeah, I do. And he was like, all right, yeah, I can get you a job. And I go to my first, they have a meeting in the morning. My first meeting, it's me, I'm 12 years old, and it's like just literally a bunch of high school girls. It's like 10 high school girls. I'm the only guy there. I'm like, Jesus. But yeah, working there, growing up, I literally worked at the ice cream parlor, and it was just me and a bunch of women. Definitely an experience I had, but it was cool. It was.
Yeah.
It definitely got busy, especially in the summertime on like those Saturday nights. But it was a cool job, cool perspective to get.
Yeah, it was a very fun job. I enjoyed doing it, honestly.
It's very funny how like certain jobs you only see like one gender or something like that. Because I know personally for serving, like a male server was like so rare when I first started serving. But now like more guys are starting to do it.
The same with like hairstylists. Like if you see a guy hairstylist, like there's automatically judging in the head.
Automatic assumptions.
Yeah, when you see a guy doing hair, like they might just like do hair. I know a lot of guy hairstylists who are really good, so it sucks that they just get put in that category.
Yeah, you bring up hairstylists. Like the barbershop I go to, it's all like male barbers, and they only cut men's hair. It's like,
yep.
Again, it just works like that. Another profession you see it a lot in is teaching, whereas it's just predominantly a lot of women. Because my brother, he's actually going into elementary education, and him as a male, like there's not a ton of males in elementary ed. And growing up, I never had a lot of male teachers till probably when I got to high schools when I started getting male teachers more often. So that's just another place.
And the thing with retail, like you don't see a lot of guys in retail like working on the floor, helping with clothes and stuff. It's usually always girls in there. Like guys
usually
there with
like
the shoes.
They're
What'd
like
you say?
background people.
Yeah, guys are helping with shoes, but not in a clothing store.
Yeah, then you flip it the other way. It's like when you're watching sports on TV, like you definitely see more of it now, but like probably a good 10, 15, 20 years ago, you didn't see a lot of women reporting on sports or anything like that. And you still don't see a ton of women like going into politics or anything like that. So it definitely goes ways. And it's still to this day, it's like that. It's kind of wild. I don't know why they haven't hit like a shift. I mean, I think we definitely are starting to hit that shift. It's just gonna take. It's gonna take longer than our lifetime.
It's going to take a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're hitting it. We're definitely hitting it because of our vice president. But
yeah,
I feel like it's going to be a while before like we actually get a woman president or
yeah. I
even
think
have enough confidence to even step up and do that, because I feel like because we always had male presidents, they automatically think it's just the male job.
Yeah, I think it's gonna take longer than our lifetime to really see all these changes take true effect, where it's kind of so all like everyone in society completely agrees that it's gonna take a while. But yeah, we definitely are moving in the right direction though in that aspect. So, all right. So for the next part, we came up with a few current events that we found that have to do with diversity. So the first one we found took place in October of 2019, where there was a case between Asian Americans and Harvard, where it was like an affirmative action case where they were saying they weren't getting in because they were Asian and stuff like that. And affirmative action's been around for quite a while. So I thought that was a really good one to look at. And the second one we found was a hospital diversity push lawsuit that actually just took place in October of 2018. And one of the staffers at the hospital claimed he was fired so two other women could be hired in a diversity push. And he got $1 million or $2 million in a settlement. So again, I think both those cases just show people trying to push diversity, whether it's in a school or workplace. And we're just trying to become more diverse, and it just can really come back to bite you, especially in the second one with that settlement and everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, the Harvard one I found interesting because I feel like Harvard discriminates against everyone who is not white, basically. Like, I don't know. Just from what I see on TV, like, I have never been on that campus or anything, but I can just tell that that's all they really look for, and white males at that. Like, I don't know, females go there, and it's just like, I feel like men get praised more, and they get more opportunities than females. And then I just feel like, as a whole, that whites get more opportunities than any other ethnicity at that college.
Yeah, like you
I
said.
agree.
You go ahead.
You good?
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, like you guys said, we definitely are taking steps in the right direction, but it's gonna take some time because you clearly still see all this in society where there's still racism, sexism, whatever, anything really. So we're definitely making strides.
I
But
found the hospital one really interesting at the fact that, because at first when I read it, I didn't even realize that it was a white male who was fired and replaced. But I realized when after I had read it that he was replaced just for women to come in and fill the role. It wasn't even race discrimination or any of that. It was just gender, which honestly, I'm happy that he won the case and got money for it, because that was messed up. Like, it is what it is. But
Yeah, that article really shows how, like, issues with diversity happen to everybody. Like, it's not just like a people of color thing too. Like, white people have,
right,
they have to deal with it too in aspects, and that's why that article was just kind of just an interesting one to look at. So you don't really think about that often, especially with like the news and stuff today.
Yeah,
I was really surprised because usually they don't replace males with females, so that was just surprising to see.
yeah, I was shocked with that one as well.
yeah, something can take all of us to enact this change over the course of a lifetime. So, and for the last part of the podcast, we're just gonna talk about a couple ideas we have for the second part, which is the game. So I came up with the idea. It's a game I called the Human Knot. We're basically a group of like 8 to 15 people, and you form a circle, shoulder to shoulder, and then you go across the circle and grab somebody's hand with your right hand, and then with your left hand, you grab somebody else's hand. So basically, what it does is just tangles everybody, and then what you have to do is you get 15 minutes, and by the end, you have to untangle everyone and never let go of the other person's hand. So I think this game will just like let natural leaders flourish in terms of which way to go, and it would really build chemistry amongst a group of people, and also really emphasize like critical thinking skills since you're on a time limit and everything. So that's kind of the idea I came up with. But I think we also
I did. Oh, sorry.
I was like,
Okay. I did the blind drawing game. It's basically when you either can do partners, just 2 people, or you could do a group of like 4 to 6. And basically there's going to be, if you do the 2 players, you'll sit back to back. One person has an image in their hand, the other person has a piece of paper and something to draw with. And basically they're explaining what this image is without actually telling them what it is. And it's basically working on communication, leadership, teamwork, and listening skills, because you can't do it without the other person, and you also cannot do it if you're not listening well to what they are telling you to do. So yeah, basically, and if it's a group of 4 to 6, you can just have one person who is trying to draw this image while the other ones are trying to work together to explain what it is in the best way. So
I feel like groups would be easier with our class size. Like, somebody could be on the board and then everybody else could be telling them what to do.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but it also could get really hectic that way as well. And, from everyone just trying to yell out stuff to help. So I don't know. We'll just have to see what works better.
yeah, we got some time, but we definitely got a few good ideas there to get the ball rolling a little bit. So
I agree.
yeah, but, that was a good conversation on diversity. I think we all came with our different, unique perspectives, and we seem like we're a diverse group of 5 people here. So that was good.
Yeah, good job, guys. I enjoyed this talk.
Good podcast, guys.
Oh yeah. All right, let me stop.